See all our pretty pictures at Pulse 95 Radio on Instagram.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
And we're going to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Catch a Vibe with me, Big Hass. And if this is the first time you're hearing us, Catch a Vibe is Pulse's first and only music-dedicated radio show. It is a show where we get to know the singers, songwriters, musicians, music enthusiasts, anything related with music. This is the sit-down, and it has rejuvenated me. We've crossed 50 episodes, and that is a big round of applause for all of us, for all the musicians and the singers and the songwriters. It has really been incredible. All right. One of the reasons why, and by the way, if you missed any of the episodes, you can find it all on YouTube and SoundCloud and all the streaming platforms. Catch a Vibe every Saturday and Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, one of the reasons why I love this show is because it's giving me, if you want to call it an excuse or a reason to get to know the musicians on a more human level. Especially, I'm talking about the musicians, because this is something that we're used to, for example, hearing from the artist, from the singer, from the rapper, from the person who is in lead. We don't hear the stories a lot of the musicians, and that's why I like Catch a Vibe, because it's giving me this path as well and this platform to get to know these musicians. Now, these musicians that you're going to be hearing about today and who's with us today, you might have seen him with the Opokosana episode. He was actually playing the keys beautifully. It was an amazing episode. Go catch it. But he, his own musician, he's incredible. He plays the keyboard, and I'm just trying to get to know him even more. He's part of the amazing group called the Tasty Biscuits. Amazing human being, and I'm just trying to get to know him. We're gonna say peace and love to the one, the only Milton Mushuna. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man.
How are you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. I want to ask you to get closer to the microphone a little bit. Perfect.
Fine, yeah.
First of all, Milton, you have a beautiful vibe about you, and you're from the lovely country of Zimbabwe. Shout out to Zimbabwe. Tell me your story when it comes to music. Like, obviously, you've been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
I want to know, how did Milton get in love and passionate about music? Tell me that story.
So,
I like the laugh.
So I had uncles who were into music.
Okay.
Both of my uncles were playing piano.
Piano?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in Zimbabwe?
Back in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And I was still young at the time. So I used to hear them playing a lot. So I fell in love with the keyboard. I used to play on the kitchen counter.
No way.
Because I didn't have a keyboard at the time. I didn't even know what I was supposed to play.
Bless.
So I developed like an interest when I was still young. And
what was it about like the piano that you fell in love? Was it like the sound? What was it?
To be honest, I think it was the sound, because I remember every time I would hear the piano when it plays, just the piano, I was like, this is what I want to play.
Oh wow! Did your uncles speak to you about it, like encourage you to also play?
Yeah, they were like, I'll teach you, but they never had time because they were always busy. One of them was a producer.
Oh wow!
And he was always up and down, so they never had time to sit down with me. And I used to bother them. I want to learn. They were like, when I have time, I'll teach you.
Oh wow!
Eventually, one of my uncles sat down with me, showed me like 3 chords with the right hand. So for like a week or a couple of weeks, I was just playing with one hand.
How old are you, remember?
I think I might have to guess. I think it was I was like 14, around 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
So, okay, you fell in love with the sound of the piano because the family were playing the piano. Was it then that you decided this is what I want to do?
So before I actually started playing, like I never held a piano before or a keyboard. I would hear the sound in my head, like, because when my uncle was playing, I would be paying attention to what he's playing. So whatever I would grasp from the sound he would play, it would be stuck with me for some time. So I would be playing on the kitchen counter.
Bless.
And then, I knew that I really want to play at some point.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So how long did that last? Like for 2 or 3 years? When did you feel like, okay, listen, I'm getting good at it? When did you see the jump?
The first time, my uncle showed me like couple of chords, and then eventually we got a keyboard at home.
Nice.
And then I started just playing around. So
Self-taught.
Self-taught at the time. For me, there were like mistakes that I was making. But when I played in front of my uncle after some time, he was surprised, like, where did you learn these things? And I was like, oh, actually, it sounds good to them, so it must be a good thing.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it took me like 3 years. I was just playing around. I didn't know what I was playing. I met another guy. He was, like, teaching me all the things that I probably play up to now.
That's insane.
And, yeah, so I was playing in church, actually. That's when I started playing, yeah.
Wow. So when did you start playing in church?
So,
like for you to play at church, that means like you have to have a certain level, obviously.
Where I come from, the church is like the music was so basic that you can, the 3 chords that I was playing, I can play all songs.
Amazing.
Just in a different way.
Bless.
So I started playing.
As long as you have the good heart, that's what matters. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
okay.
I think after 2 years of learning, that's when I started playing in church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking back at it right now, Milton, look, like you're in the UAE right now. Looking back at this time when you're like playing at church, do you miss it? What does that mean to you?
Man, I was thinking about it on my way here. I'm like, I miss playing in church. And I recently found a good church here, so I'll probably be playing very soon.
Bless. That's amazing. I mean, that's one of the cool things about the UAE. It's such a, obviously, the country's tolerance with that, and there's...
Beautiful, yeah.
That's amazing. But that's interesting, obviously. So when you think back at these times and you were playing at church, and now you're part of an amazing group that are really... Like, they're really killing it, you guys. The Tasty Biscuits are just really... they're doing amazing jobs, but we're definitely talking about them. But Milton, you're... So, okay, after church, that's still in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
What was the evolution after that?
Okay, so my journey was just... I felt stagnant because the church I was going to were playing the same songs all the time.
You felt you're not moving forward.
I felt I was not moving. And the person who was teaching me also was kind of restricting me to what I should play. And I could only play in one key. And I was using the transpose button.
And Milton has bigger dreams.
And to be honest, because I could see myself, I would hear sounds in my head. I didn't know how to interpret with my hands. But inside of me, I had sounds that I could not tell people about. But I was trying to find a way to express that I was feeling inside of me.
Wow. And that, I'm sure, bothered you when you weren't able to do it.
It was... Like, even up to now, there's certain things I feel that I'm still struggling to do. That's why I keep learning, keep practicing. And, yeah, it was really bothering me at that time.
So okay, what did you do about that? Like, you know, I know there's a lot of talk right there.
Yeah, so I decided, like, I want to study music. I told my family I want to do music full time.
Wait. How was that conversation? When you told them, I want to study. I know you're from Zimbabwe, but I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And it's the same struggle for anybody, Arabs and, from Africa.
Yeah.
You want to study what?
I'm telling you, like, it was chaos.
Yeah.
They didn't understand. They didn't support. Family was like, no, you need to focus on your school. You cannot...
Music doesn't pay the bills.
Especially where I come from, musicians are just like... people with no life because they only play gigs, get money, they drink, they do all those kind of things. Yeah. So my family didn't want me to get
into this life.
But I used to have like visions, like I would see myself.
Wow, Milton.
Yeah. Before I even started playing very well, I'm still learning. But when I didn't know much than what I know right now, I used to have visions. I used to see myself in bigger platforms, having radio interviews. I would actually sit down.
No way.
And start talking to myself like,
bless.
Like what we're doing right now. So, yeah.
Well, no, I hear you. I love that you said that. I love the fact that you had visions back then. How did that conversation go? Obviously, you said that you didn't understand, but did you end up studying music? How did it go?
At some point, I actually stopped doing that because I was told, no, I need to focus on school.
Okay.
And when I was done with school, I made my own decision, like I need to leave the country.
Wow.
Because music it's not a big thing in Zimbabwe. Like when it comes to studying, people just play by ear.
Yeah.
But I felt like I
mean, there's a lot of passion, I'm sure.
There's a lot of passion, yeah. People play very well, but it's just by self-taught, what you hear. So I wanted to understand what I was going to play. So I said I want to study music. God opened the door. I went to South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How old were you back then?
I think I just turned 18, 19. Yeah.
You went to South Africa?
I went to South Africa. I said I don't want to go to university to study something that I don't want to become. And my family actually opted for me to become a soldier.
Wow.
Yeah, they wanted me to go join the army and do music in the army.
Music in the army?
And I was like, when I have visions, when I have my dreams, this is nowhere close to where I see myself.
Bless, bro.
So I had to disobey and follow what I was seeing myself becoming.
I mean, I want to cut through, like, how are they now?
Now, they're so supportive.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Like, everyone is like, wow,
bless.
we're happy
Oh,
for
man.
you. Yeah.
Okay. A big round of applause. Look, the family of Milton. This brother is right here on Sharjah's first and only English radio station on Catch a Vibe. An incredible guy. I mean, if they're hearing this, I want to give them a message. I've had the pleasure of meeting you, 3-4 times, and every time I meet him, there is a good vibe about him. So that comes in from being well raised. So I want to say thank you for raising a good human being. That's one. Two, obviously the fact that you did what you did, you were passionate about it, and you have this dream, and I salute you for it. It's not easy, but I'm so glad that they're on board. Liking it again. I want to take a short break, but I still want to get to know you even more. This is incredible. See, that's why I love Catch a Vibe. Just to get to know, obviously, with this case, with Milton, he fell in love with piano because his uncles, and then obviously start playing in church, and then he had visions to play outside, and then went to South Africa, and then we're going to know what happens in South Africa up next. But listen, I want to put you on the spot. I want to play a record right now on the radio. Okay. And whatever record that you want me to play. If it's a record from Zimbabwe, if it's a record from the Tasty Biscuits, if it's your own record, whatever it is, what would you want me to play? As long as it's clean, of course.
Okay, it's a record in my language.
Okay.
From a friend of mine. He's now based in the US.
Amazing. What's his name?
It's called...
let's find that out.
I have to spell it out for you.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what's it called. But this is why this segment is also cool, because some of the music that you guys bring, I never heard of it. And then they get their first radio play ever on the UAE FM.
This is going to be the first one also, yeah. So the spelling is K.
How do you pronounce it?
Kure Kwegava.
Kure?
Kwegava. Yeah.
Bless
I don't
it.
even know how to put that in English. It's like deep shorter.
Okay. Amazing. You're going to give me that off air, but we're going to play that. What's the song called?
It's called Kure Kwegava.
By?
Drew Nova.
And he's your friend?
He's my friend, yeah.
Bless. And he's from Zimbabwe?
He's from Zimbabwe.
Based in?
In the US now.
In the US.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear this. My brother, your song's actually playing because Milton right here, wanted to play this record on the air. We're going to take this break and we'll be right back. Keep it locked. Do not go anywhere. We are with Milton. We're going to go back, to him, and he's going to be playing those keys in a bit. Keep it locked. Do not go anywhere. It's Pulse 95.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
See all our pretty pictures at Pulse 95 Radio on Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pulse 95 Radio, right here at Catch a Vibe. I am with Milton Mushuna, who is from Zimbabwe, based here in the UAE, and he just told me about this brother. Man, we just played this record, and I'm so thankful to Milton, and this is incredible. And I wanna, Milton is about to play for us, but I want to tell you something, Milton. I know you're not able to speak because the mic is not near you, but I want to tell you something. I'm going to tell your friend, who is Drill Nova, tell him that this song is going to be on rotation on Pulse 95 Radio. That means it's going to air no matter what time, at 3:30, 2 a.m. in the morning, don't matter. My brother. Music is this language that connects us all. And there's a certain vibe, there's this R&B, very Afro soul, world music thing about him. No way. This, see? Thank you, Milton, for introducing me to this brother. Man, incredible. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear what Milton does. And obviously, we talked about it. We're going to talk more about it, but he plays the keys beautifully. And when obviously you're part of a band as well that is making noise, you get a lot of, also light. But I've seen him play, and there is something about him that is so passionate. And I know he has something special to us that he's about to play. Obviously it's the season. So Milton, take it away, my brother, right here on Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio. Take it away. I love that, Milton. I'm gonna ask you to go into the other chair. That's how we're doing it right here on the show. But wow, this is what makes the show obviously cool. I love this rendition that Milton did. Really, really cool. And as he's moving back, obviously to the other mic. One of the cool things about, again, this show is it gives me the a reason to, like I said, get to know these artists. And Milton, first of all, thank you so much for this. It's amazing.
Thank you.
For anyone who's listening right now, just want to make sure that your mic is on. 1 second, yeah. Anyone listening right now, how would you describe when people say he's a like a keyboard player or a piano player? How did you get into being the pro that you are? Like, what do you remember the first time you played with a band or with a group? Tell me about that experience.
Yo, that's heavy, man. You called me a pro. I'm still a baby.
No, in my opinion, when you play in a group like Tasty Biscuits,
okay.
The Tasty Biscuits for the past 2 years have been making a big noise, and you guys have been playing around. Your name has been there, and obviously you're part of this group.
True.
So the question is, when did you start? Who was your first band or group? When did you first start playing like that?
Okay, so my first band was in college, music college in Cape Town.
In Cape Town?
In Cape Town, when I went to study music.
Okay.
So we had like a concert every Friday. So Monday to Thursday, we write songs.
Nice.
Every Friday, we have like a concert at the school. So that was like my first band, because I was playing with people who know music very well.
Nice.
So even if we were very few people in the room, I was performing like you're playing for a lot of people, because everyone there understood music.
Wow.
So that was the first time, yeah.
And that was obviously after you moved to South Africa. And
when I went to South Africa,
was it difficult the first few weeks when you were there, or you got along?
Not the first few weeks, the first couple of years actually.
Wow.
It has been a journey, and to be honest, I give all the glory to God.
Bless.
I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for God.
Bless.
Yeah, it was tough, but we made it through, because I was working and studying at the same time.
What was like a challenge in South Africa that you faced that you can talk to us about?
I'm trying to think, because there were so many challenges.
Give me one.
But it was balancing work and music, because that's when I became a bartender. I was working as a bartender.
Wow, so you're working and doing music and studying music.
Yeah, I would leave work at sometimes 4 a.m. and I have school at 8 a.m. And then after school at 3 p.m., I'm going straight to work for 2 years.
That's the hustle.
So that was the challenge. But I was happy, because I was investing time in
Wow.
in my craft.
No regrets.
I don't regret. I can do it anytime.
Oh, bless.
Can do it anytime.
Okay, so how long you stayed in South Africa, and when was it? Was it South Africa, UAE, or you went back to Zimbabwe?
South Africa, UAE.
Oh,
I
wow.
just passed through Zimbabwe, but I didn't stay in Zimbabwe. So
Okay.
I lived in South Africa for like 7 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I went from Zim to South Africa. From South Africa, I came here.
And your time in South Africa, would you say it has a big impact on you musically?
Yeah, actually, I was speaking to him. He was my piano teacher, Winston Cellier.
Winston, Mr. Winston.
Yeah.
Bless him.
He's an incredible person.
Shout out to Mr. Winston.
Very humble guy. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so the question is, in what way did South Africa impact you musically in your stay?
To be honest, that's where I discovered myself, because there's a certain kind of music I've always loved, but I didn't know it existed.
Which is?
It's neo soul and
Neo
soul.
soul, yeah.
I didn't know about it that time, but there was a sound I was looking for that I couldn't find where I was around, or the people around me.
Wow.
Even some people were playing better than me when they would play. I would still feel like there's something I'm in need of that I'm not getting out of these people.
Wow.
So when I went to South Africa, people at the college, they had me playing. They were like, you play very soulful. Do you listen to neo soul? Do you know this kind of music? I'm like, no, I've never heard of this genre. So they gave me the artist to look out, to check out. And then I was like, what? This is what I've been looking for. I didn't even know it existed. So
Wow.
that's when I discovered my sound. And from there, I've been listening to that kind of music. And yeah.
And that's I love that you said that. Okay, before we take a break, what was the how did the UAE happen? Like, how did that transition happen?
So I had opportunities to go in different countries, but it didn't happen. And I always believe in God's timing, or God has the ultimate plan.
Of course.
So it didn't happen as I planned, and I just felt like I need to be away from South Africa for some time.
Okay.
I never intended. I didn't see myself in UAE. And when I came, I said, I'm just going to stay for like a year and I'll leave.
Everyone said that.
But here I am. I'm happy. And
Oh, bless.
that's how I came
and
to UAE.
And that was like 4 years ago.
That was 4 years ago.
Wow. We're going to take a short break, and obviously we're going to talk about the Tasty Biscuits. We're going to talk about his time in the UAE. Milton is one of those guys who really, you have a certain cool thing about you. I love what you said about God's plan, and and I think it's really important. I know that you have big faith, and I think that's really important. I'm going to talk to you about that. But the same question. I want to play a song right now. I'm going to put you on the spot. What song do you want me to play?
Oh. Yeah, what song would I want?
Yeah.
One of my old favorite songs.
Okay.
It's called This Is Love by Jonathan Butler. He's one of my most favorite artists. Yeah.
What?
Jonathan Butler.
Yeah, I think we have this record too. Jonathan Butler.
I love the guy, man.
What do you like about him?
He plays guitar and he sings. I don't even play guitar, but for some reason, he has been my favorite artist ever since I was a kid.
Man.
Just his voice and his playing is incredible, man.
That's amazing.
I love him. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play Jonathan Butler right here on on Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a vibe. Milton is with us. Incredible guy out of Zimbabwe, based here in the UAE. Keep it locked. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95. Pulse.
All right. Well, somebody knows this record. It's soul vibe, R&B vibe right here. This is Jonathan Butler. This is Love. We just played this record. Cool record. Milton, any memories on this record?
No, I just love the song.
Just love it.
It doesn't have anything to do with my life, but I love the song. Yeah.
I love it too. No, that's amazing. We wanna say thank you for being on the show, Milton. I really appreciate you. Okay, Milton. Now, when we talk about the UAE music scene, right now, when we talk about live performances and that new wave, Tasty Biscuits is there, and then obviously you play with the Tasty Biscuit.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you guys get connected? Like how did you guys get acquainted?
That's a very funny story because
Tell
we
me.
always talk about it. Ruben,
Shout out Ruben.
the singer,
Yeah.
Dana, the
Dana, shout
singer,
out Dana, yeah.
and Caleb, the drummer. They knew each other
Yeah.
from way back.
Okay.
So Ruben and Caleb, they were living together in the
Okay.
same house. So I met Ruben on Instagram,
Okay.
and then I messaged him because I was listening to his singing, and I was like, "Wow, this guy is amazing."
Isn't he amazing? He's just
He's
incredible.
incredible,
I know you're in
man.
the same band, but I'm like, this guy is
Like,
incredible.
Every time when I hear him and Dan, I'm like, "Yo,
Yeah.
you guys, you're
Yeah.
incredible." So I reached out to him. I messaged him. I'm like, "Bro, where do you stay? You're incredible. I would love to meet you and do some stuff with you." And he said, "I was about to text you and say the same thing." I'm
No
like,
way.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, "So where do you stay?" He's like, "I'm in Marina," and I was in JBR.
No way.
Just like right behind my building. So I said, "Okay, when are you free?"
This is insane.
I'm actually free. So I
Now on the spot?
I packed my keyboard. I think it was the same day or later. I don't remember, to be honest. But
Insane.
it was so soon from the time we had a chat. I went to his place and the guy sang and I played. We were like, "You're my guy."
Rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history. Dana, Caleb, the Cam, we started jamming together. We met Sana and other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just amazing.
it's incredible.
I love that story. That shows you that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
True,
Like,
yeah.
out of everything in the world, you guys met and you're like 5 minutes away from each other. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
How is it playing with the Tasty Biscuit? Meaning, this is a group that for the past 2 years that made a lot of noise
Yeah.
by just being consistent and hardworking. Like you were playing everywhere, and not only playing everywhere, your talent was dominant. Like when you performed.
Yeah.
And I remember you opened for Bu Kulthum, who's one of the biggest rappers, and Al Serkal, the Al Quz Art Festival.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people there, Milton, were coming to see Bu Kulthum, who's from Syria.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Arab audience. But you were playing before.
Yeah.
And I had a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine, they like didn't know about the Tasty Biscuit, but they fell in love with the sound.
Yeah.
So how is it like playing with a group that is still up and coming, yet making a big impact in the community in the UAE?
To be honest, with a lot of great musicians in UAE, it's a challenge. That's why we keep on putting the work consistently, and we meet on a regular basis to work on our songs. I sit at home, learn new songs,
Wow.
come up with some different ways of playing the same songs. And it has been challenging, but at the same time exciting, because when we meet up, everyone has ideas, and when we play, the way people are receiving us now, from the time we started, it's changing. It's gradually growing. It's getting better. Yeah,
Big time. It's like evolving like crazy. And I remember the first time I saw you guys, about 2 years and a half ago or so,
Yeah.
and then it was just amazing to see the evolution of it. And that's why I say it's quick.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. You said something interesting. You said that the musicians over here in the UAE are so talented, and
True.
that kind of fuels you guys, like gives you fire.
because if we are booked to play at a certain place and you hear the person was playing before you guys,
wow.
so we have to work
You have to
extra
bring your
hard.
A
We
game.
have to, we have to. We don't want to let them down, so we try as much as we can to give our A game all the time. Yeah.
Wow. What is the challenging thing playing with the Tasty Biscuits? I'm sure they're hearing this now. Shout out to you guys. He's about to tell me
They're
some
going
juice.
to kill me. I'm going to expose all of them. I'm kidding.
No, but like when I say challenge, like
Yeah.
you said something interesting, like you always want to keep your craft
yeah.
ready. You practice a lot. You meet a lot, right? But what's that challenge that playing with them?
So the challenge now is I have also resident gigs without the Tasty Biscuits with other people, right? Myself, Dan, and Caleb. And then we have the Tasty Biscuits. And we have other stuff with the Tasty Biscuits. So sometimes we have limited amount of time to work on new stuff.
Man.
And all these guys are amazing. They always want to play the same song in a different way. So it pushes me all the times just to be creative, to be practicing, to be thinking ahead. Because even Ruben, when he sings, sometimes he can just change a bit on the stage, and you have to be listening to him. So that's a challenge I actually enjoy, because it has helped me so much. From the time I started playing with them, I've improved. And me being the only keyboard player,
Yeah.
it's challenging because I have to cover like horn section and other stuff that was played on records that we do. So that's a challenge that I'm actually working on becoming better. So
Wow.
yeah.
So the question I'm about to ask might be ignorant, so I apologize in advance, but it's the same thing I spoke to Opoko about. A lot of people sometimes when they hear bass, they don't understand bass. They don't understand what his contribution is. But you talk to anybody that plays music, they tell you, hey, bass is really important. Like that's a big essence.
It is.
You know, it is.
Yeah.
When it comes to you, what sort of what's the sort of feedback or idea people have about what you play? Like when they see you play, what's you're an important element of the group, but there's always the singer, there is the drummer. There's a lot of attention on those musicians. But with the keys, I think it's also I think it holds it down. No, no. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It does, because as a keyboard player, my job is to accompany the singers. So if I actually don't play and they're singing, sometimes there's a gap, or if I make a mistake, because I'm playing the chords they are singing. So if I just mess up or if I don't play, I'll actually let the whole team down. Yeah.
No, I hear you, and I think how do you try to in what way does playing the keys as well make the group better? Like what are your contribution to the because again the attention is always on the
singers.
The singer and we don't know what goes on in the group in terms of what did you add here, do you construct here, what's the addition of Milton in Tasty Biscuit?
With the band, they understand because they're all musical people, right?
Okay.
So they can actually hear the stuff I'm doing. But when it comes to some shows we do and people in the crowd, they don't even understand what sound is this.
Yeah.
Because I have like pitches, I mix different kind of sounds, like 4 sounds, and make it like one voice, right? So when people are listening, they don't understand what's going on. What instrument is that?
That's the word. That's what I was trying to say.
They don't understand,
Yeah.
So sometimes people will come and say, what were you playing? Was that you? And then you explain, yes. So sometimes, we feel like it's because not everyone understands music the same way. Some people just enjoy the whole music when it's done, but there's certain people who listen to each and every individual instrument. They can understand. But for the majority of the crowd, I'll just do what I do because I love it. It sounds good to me and to the people I'm playing with.
Yeah, no, people are definitely feeling it. What's your, I know it's a tough question, but what's your favorite record to play for Tasty Biscuits? One of the favorites, obviously. You love all of them, or you love something.
Actually, because we recently composed an instrumental with the guys.
Okay.
And that's my favorite, to be honest.
Which one? There's no name yet? Or?
No, we haven't recorded that. We haven't recorded. The one we recorded, it's not yet out, so we're still working on it. Yeah.
Okay. If I want to play a song for the Tasty Biscuits right now, what song would you want me to play?
From or for the Tasty Biscuits?
Like for. I think there's I think there are like a couple of songs out. Let's talk about Dana and Ruben for a second. Like they're singing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about them? Because they have such great chemistry on. Man. Right? Great chemistry.
Great.
And even the way sometimes Ruben would come on and then Dana would join him on stage and then go like, oh wow, there is there's something there. As people that play for them, what's the feeling like when you're playing, watching that from the back?
I'm sure it's the same feeling we have that they have, because everyone usually tells us, you guys, all of you have a beautiful chemistry between you guys. And for Ruben and Dana, it's even more beautiful because they spend more time together working on their harmonies and stuff. So when we meet up with them, they're like way ahead in terms of their vocals. And every time we are hearing new stuff they're doing. So I always tell them every single time I'm playing with you guys, it feels like it's the first time I'm hearing you singing. So
what a compliment! Wow.
Yeah.
Every time you hear them, It's like the first time.
It feels like it's the first time I'm hearing them.
Wow.
So it's just beautiful listening to these amazing people. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Listen, we're going to take a short break. I want to figure out which Tasty Biscuit record I want to play. And we're going to do that in the last segment. But if there's any song you want me to play right now, Milton, the pressure is on you again. Anything at all. It doesn't have to be for Tasty Biscuit.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
I think now I'll play a gospel song.
Okay.
Just to...
Which one? Do you have something in mind?
It's called Lord You Are Good.
Okay.
By Todd Galbeth.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's why I love it. So far, Milton has given me so many amazing tracks. This is obviously by Todd
Galbeth.
Okay, let's hear that right now on Pulse 95 Radio. Keep it locked. We're going to be right back with our last segment with the incredible human being and, of course, keyboard player Milton.
See all our pretty pictures at Pulse 95 Radio on Instagram.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95.
Only on Pulse 95 Radio. It's Big Hass right here on episode number 51, Catch a Vibe. And it has been amazing, really, getting to know Milton Mushuna, who is from Zimbabwe, based here in the UAE. He's a keyboard player. But most importantly, I think I got to know him as a human. You know, like he's a man of faith. He's so passionate. He doesn't take no for an answer. He loves challenges. You see, these are the things I learned about him in this 20-30 minute conversation. And I love that. Milton, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man.
Bless,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
It's an honor. Well, towards the end, I kind of want to talk dreams. And what are the dreams that Milton has? Obviously, you're from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
You know, for me, and your story is incredible, how you moved from Zimbabwe, you studied in South Africa, and then obviously you moved to the UAE right now.
Yeah.
And you have dreams on your own. You play with one of the most exciting bands that we have, not only in the UAE but in the region, the Tasty Biscuits.
Yes, sir.
And you play with other artists and stuff. But I think I want to ask you, what is Milton's dream? What do you want to do? Because going back to something that you said, and I'm not putting a shade on anybody, but you said in church, you reached a level where you became stagnant and you were not given the freedom to do. But do you get afraid that you're going to reach this level here now? And if so, what is your dream? Tough question right there.
Yeah, I understand what you asked. So what I meant by that when I was stagnant, it was the churches back home, the kind of music we do. But I've realized some churches, they were doing like really interesting music. So my dream, to be honest, is to do what God wants me to do. That's like my dream. And I know for sure what He wants me to do. I was born and raised a Christian, and I believe that's where I belong. I belong in church. I can play anywhere because it's a gift that God has given me. God opens doors, certain platforms.
Facts.
I play there, but above all, I'll still go back, pray on my knees, thank God for whatever doors He's opening. And my dream at some point is to go back and be a full-time music minister in church. That's what I want to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yo,
with my music gift.
Love that. Wow. You got me with this one. So far, with we were talking earlier that Tasty Biscuit doesn't have something official like as a group, right? Like on streaming yet, correct?
Yeah.
But we're gonna play actually a record called Last Night that was actually on the podcast Jibber with Jabber.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's shout out to him, of course. We're gonna play that after. But when you guys kind of get together, the meetings only happen to practice the songs you're performing live, or do you have actual songs that you haven't recorded yet?
So we actually meet sometimes just to write songs.
Okay. Your own songs, obviously.
Our own songs as a band.
Yeah.
So everyone comes up with an idea, we meet up, and then we try to make it, to give it a structure, to give it life.
And these songs, do you know anytime when are they gonna make it, like, or that's, you don't know yet?
The time frame, to be honest, I don't know, but we're working on that. We have what we call the tasting sessions.
Yeah.
We recently had one, and then we're having another one early next year.
Nice.
They'll be announcing the date, so just keep looking out on the page, the Tasty Biscuits.
Amazing.
So yeah, we will be performing only original songs that we write. So we meet up and we write songs. So yeah.
Speaking of that, how is it live performance like for you? What does live performance mean when you're performing in front of an audience? Do you get nervous, for example?
To be honest, I do, because the way I think is probably different to other guys. Me, when I play, because I'm thinking the people around, if they record whatever they record, it will last forever. So whenever I'm playing, I'm trying to be very careful with how I'm playing.
Bless.
And yeah, sometimes we get carried away. We enjoy.
I know,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. I mean, I love the mentality. You know, I love basketball,
Yeah.
and I know you started playing tennis too. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But basketball, I heard one time Michael Jordan say something. He's like, they asked him, "Why do you play?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I play for that kid who's watching me for the first time in the like 50th row or whatever it is. Maybe it's his first and last time he's watching me. I play to inspire him
Wow.
or her."
Wow.
And I was like, "Wow, he's playing for that. Like, you
Yeah.
know, he's not playing for the front row. He's playing for that kid who's in the back."
Yeah.
And you never know who he's going to inspire. So I love what you said.
Yeah, man, because I've realized I've had an opportunity to play with Jerome. We played at the
Jerome
Coca-Cola
Bellion.
Arena.
Yes, how was that?
It was, to be honest, it was mind-blowing. Like, when I went home, that's when I realized what you're saying now. I played in front of, like, thousands of people,
Yeah.
big stage, big lights. But when the lights goes off, and then you go home, you're in your space. That's what matters to me. And then the only thing I realized in that time that my gift is from God, and I'll just do whatever He wants me to do with it. So
Yeah, you're a vessel, obviously.
wherever I'm playing, I have the same mindset and the same heart. So yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take anything tonight from this gentleman, it's cool to have faith. That's all I want to say. I think with everything that's going on, especially with social media, people tend to lose a little bit of that, and they get distracted with everything. The fact that you're a musician, Milton,
Yeah.
and the fact that you said it more than once, 3-4 times. I know what God wants me to do, and I want to do that.
Yeah.
You kept saying it, and it's evident. Going back to the first time, when did you realize that this is like God's gift to you? Was it back then, like in church?
it was in church,
Okay.
because even the guy who was teaching me, he could play way better than me. But people used to tell me whenever I would play, even if it's a simple song, there's something, and I didn't understand. Even till now, there are people I look up to, I learn from, but they'll always tell me, when you play, there's something. So,
What is it?
to
It's
be
from God.
honest, I don't know. I believe, because I've heard a saying that says, you can only teach what you know, but you impart who you are.
Wow.
So I believe when I play, I'm pouring myself. That's me. There's nothing hidden. So people get to connect with the real me. So I think it just makes a lot of difference. Yeah.
Yo, these guys, like Opoko and him, should write a book together. Like the amount of jewels you guys are, you know. No, seriously, but he said the same. Like he said, our interview together was also amazing, and you're dropping some amazing thoughts, and this is why I think people need to get to know you guys as musicians more, because you're not just a keyboard player. He's not just a bass player. You're a human. You're Milton, right?
True, correct, yeah.
You're from Zimbabwe. You struggled, and to end it up with, before we hear you play, Milton, what would you say, like, out of your life, musically and life, what has been a challenge that impacted you the most? Like the challenge, something about life that hit you hard and you overcome it. Generally, I'm not talking music, I'm talking life. If there's anything in specific.
You know what? So I lost both of my parents. My dad when I was young. I was 4 years
Sorry to
when my
hear that.
dad passed away.
Oh, man.
It's fine. Yeah.
May Allah rest their soul, peace and power.
Thank you, man. And my mom passed away when I was like, I think 16. So when my dad passed away, my mom was pregnant with my younger brother. So my young brother is here with me in Dubai. So
What's his name?
Sevius.
Sevius.
Yeah, I'm amazing guy.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Oh, man, shout out to your mom. Wow.
So yeah, when my dad passed away, my mom was pregnant, and I was only 4. So my dad passed away, and my brother never saw my dad.
Your father.
So when I lost my mom, and the only person I had or my brother had was me. We only had each other. But we lived in separate cities for like 10 years.
Oh, man.
We never saw each other. That made me want to work hard in whatever I would do and to believe in God that one day I will make it that I don't have to be separate from the people I love.
You take care of him.
Yeah, I would want to be with the people I love. So, yeah, that was one of the most challenges I've had, and it had negative impact at some point. But now, because I've matured, I take some of the experiences I had as lessons.
Bless.
So it has helped me.
Your brother's with you here.
Yeah, my brother is here
bless.
in Dubai.
Wow. I mean, look, I can say that for sure. They're both looking down proud at you. I mean, losing a parent at the age of 4 is not. You know, I lost my father in 2005, and
sorry,
it's for me. What you said it also impacted because you want them to know that you're doing well, right?
True. I think about them all the times.
Yeah.
Like when I was coming out, I was like, I wish my mom was just
Blessed.
there to watch. Yeah.
Did your mom at least know that you're into, like, obviously, you know, playing?
I used to sing in choir,
Yeah.
but that time I didn't play.
Yeah,
so
bless.
she knew I had music interest. Yeah.
They're both looking down. That I assure you. They're both looking down and
Yeah.
and proud, because I think it's important. And what you said is so beautiful. Again, you know, asking you about a challenge, and then your reply was, you know, losing your father at the age of 4, and then, you know, obviously your mom was pregnant. God bless. Listen, I want to say thank you again for joining us.
Thank you
And
for
what we'll
having
do
me.
is that he's going to be Superman. He's going to be changing locations right now as we speak.
That's perfectly
Because
fine.
I would do it. But any last words you'd like to say, Milton? Please go ahead before we hear you play.
I'm a man of very, very few words.
I know.
So I don't speak a lot. But I just want to say special thank you to the guys I work with, the Tasty Biscuits,
Bless
all of them. Opokusana is my big brother. He's like my mentor.
Incredible guy.
Yeah. Jerome. Those are the people that gives me opportunity. One of my big brothers, PJ and Elton,
Wow.
they support me in my music journey. They sit down with me, help me. So I really appreciate those people in my life.
Thank you for shouting them out. Thank you.
Yeah, man, incredible people. And special thanks to my brother also, because he supports. I used to practice and he was sleeping, but he loves when I play. So
Shout out to
I
him.
appreciate him for that.
Bless
yeah.
him.
And
Is he one of your biggest fans right now? I'm sure.
now, yeah, but back then he was
Back then.
like,
Hey, you want to sleep?
sometimes it was like, and yeah, I just want to appreciate the people who have supported me. My sister, cousin sister, and my friend I'm staying with at the moment. They're so supportive. So yeah,
Amazing. No, I think I know all these years that you're practicing, and you said it more than once. Again, like you're a passionate dude. You're very passionate. And
Yeah.
you said it again more than once. Even when you meet with the Tasty Biscuits, you want to contribute here and there. You want to add. You want to practice. It's really an honor having you on the show.
I appreciate it.
And
Man.
we can't wait to hear. What are you going to play for us?
Since we've been talking about God and my faith,
Yeah.
there's one of my favorite old hymns. It's called "Great Is Thy Faithfulness."
Okay.
I'll just play a bit of
A
the
bit
song.
of it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
love the song. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then you can be transferred.
Nah, that's
Oh man,
That's fine.
but this is part of what we do right here. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see him move from one chair to another. But we're actually also after Milton done playing, we're gonna be playing the Tasty Biscuits. It's a live song on the live set on the podcast called Jibber with Jabber. Amazing podcast. It's called Last Night, and we're definitely gonna hear. We're gonna play that. Okay, we're gonna set you up right here. As you can see, Milton. But please go follow him on social media. Milton _mushuna, MILTON _MUSHUNA. Incredible guy again. His Instagram says God's own, and I love that. When I saw that, I was like, I love that. And he recently also stopped playing tennis, and I love that. I'm gonna beat you in tennis soon, my brother. Yeah.
You can't, man.
No, he said I can't.
I'm killing it.
No. He's trash talking right now. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Milton mushuna, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for
Take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, man, oh man, I love this. Peace and love, of course, to everybody that's listening. Thank you so much, Milton. Really appreciate you. We're going to leave you with this song's called Last Night. It's a live version on the Jibber with Jabber podcast, the Tasty Biscuits. Go check them out. Milton is the keyboard player there, and he's an amazing human being. We love you, Milton. Come back anytime. Peace and love, and we say assalamu alaikum, and we'll see you guys obviously in tomorrow's episode. Salam.